Mic check. More Masters podcast was made, of course. Back now, thinking out loud. Appreciate y'all, man. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. First and foremost, I want to shout out to all supporters, listeners, followers, people who kind of comment on the podcast, share the podcast, watch the podcast, word of mouth, engaged, just people that just support the page, support myself, and support what I'm doing. So definitely clap it up for you guys. Love y'all. You know, we'll not be doing this without you guys. Of course. So I told somebody the other day, I was like, you've probably been seeing a lot of reels posted on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. And I don't know, something changed with the monetization of how things work. So they asked me, they was like, hey, you got a bunch of videos on Instagram that we can convert and also share to your Facebook. And the first time was like 14 videos, like we'll post one a day. All right, cool. Well, they got another one, it's like 20 videos. So you'll see some old content, some new content, I guess, that they just want to merge. They feel like they'd be better for branding purposes, engagement purposes, and to create a higher or, increase in the monetization of my Facebook page. So that's why you see those videos. Well, with that, I know one posted with my guy George Jones. Shout out to Trey. Clap it up for Trey. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. There you go. Clap it up for Trey. The button don't have to go ahead, niggas. I don't know what it is about that, man. Clap it up for Trey, man. And we expressed his stance on child support and how he hates child support. And in his expression of child support and what he hates about it, I said a piece in there as well to kind of offset / balance what he was saying. And it was a dope clip back then. It's a dope clip now. I try to make timeless content. So shout out to him for even expressing that, and shout out for you guys for liking it, because that was 2023 when that happened. So it's 2025 now. So 2 years later, and that content is still booming. But I wanted to kind of speak on it. I see a lot of comments on there, and I wanted to maybe read them just to kind of engage and address it, but also just tell my stance on it. I want to first say that this is in no way, shape, or form coming at George, but I will say this: I would advise anyone to watch that episode in its entirety. Reason being, we see clips all the time, 90-second clips, a minute clip, 45-second clip, but that conversation was close to 2 hours. So there are things within that 90-second clip that we are referring to that you have to go watch the episode to understand what we're talking about and why we're saying what we're saying. So I would just tell people that, like, watch the clips. I love when y'all watch the clips, engage with the clips, share the clips, like the clips, all of that stuff. But also, when you get time, and if that's what you do, if you care about understanding, definitely go back and do your due diligence and listen to the conversation in its entirety so that you can understand those 90 seconds a little bit better, or have a greater opinion on them 90 seconds, okay? But I want to start reading some comments. I'm going to say names too, so shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Ash. Ash Williams. Ash said, man, I promise I watched all the way through before I typed. While I know there are some people who weaponize child support, the custodial parent deserves more income. Whether it's because the person is mad or not. Raising kids alone is expensive. Life itself is expensive right now. And if I have to go Instacart or DoorDash to take my kids to urban air, I just get up and do it. I am the custodial parent with no child support. At the end of the day, it's about the child. Unfortunately, we do get to make excuses when it comes to them. We have to make better choices when it comes to who we reproduce with. That's dope. But a lot of us were young, and that's a whole nother topic. Great conversation, though. I get it. Clap it up for Ash, man. But that was a great comment. Kiki Patrick, child support is put in place for the man and the woman. If men don't want to pay child support, or if they are going to complain about child support, then take full custody of the kids, or stop having kids, then leaving them. It's more that do wrong than do good. And I'm speaking for women and men, but it's mainly the men that are on child support. Child support or not, the person has to want to be responsible for their actions. Simple as that. If we did not have child support, it honestly wouldn't be a difference. The custodial parent still got to take all the responsibility regardless. I can go on and on about this topic. Yo, shout out to Kiki Patrick. That's a dope comment as well. That's my girl. Go follow Kiki Patrick, man. Hey, put some more commas and periods in your comment next time, man. I'm be messing my reading. Got niggas thinking I can't read, man. Tighten up. I ain't gonna press the button. All right. It's a few more. Well, it's a lot of comments actually. All right. Let's see what we got here. Uh, they must also hate car notes, rent. This is Amber Houston. So shout out to her. She said they must also hate car notes, rent, insurance, any financial responsibility you have in life requires a contract. You can't just tell the car dealership, okay, I'll give you the money when I'm ready. You have to be in contract. A child is a financial responsibility, and child support is a contract. I agree. Definitely agree. Carlos Hall. I think there should be several factors when determining if a parent should pay child support. If you are married, who filed for divorce? Okay. Are there any stepchildren? Was there abuse or infidelity? If a person wants to leave a relationship because there is someone else or they're not fulfilled in their relationship, I don't think the other person should have to pay if there's no evidence that they wouldn't provide for their children. I think more women would think before breaking up their family if it wasn't so easy to get child support. Hmm. If they know that they can get $1,200 a month to go live with their best life, why not? Wow. Yeah, Carlos Hall. Clap it up for Carlos Hall, man. Dope actor. And shout out to Donald Doe, man. He posted the Will Smith meme of with the glasses and the bow tie, like like you like class in session. So yeah, that's that. Those are some of the comments I seen on there. If I missed a comment, I apologize. Let me go to all comments first because I don't know why it's saying you left me out. Popularity, da da da. I don't want to hit niggas mouth. Let me see. Okay, one more comment. Natasha Carter. Woo! I got a lot to say, but dot 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 dot. So yeah. All right. And so those are the comments of that, right? So shout out to y'all for engaging in the comments. I love it. I love it. I love it. I guess Facebook was right to create the monetization and put that out, right? I think it got more comments this time than last time, to be honest with you. So my thoughts on child support. Am I for or against it? Let's start there, right? I am not against child support. I'm not against it. I do feel like I do understand everybody angle. Bitter women, man doing his job. I understand all of that. I do think that we typically go to the bitter woman a lot of times, and I want to break that down before I go further. Not to say that there aren't bitter women or bitter men or bitter people in the world. I will say we have to be careful with under what guidelines are we calling this woman bitter, because there's a fine line between bitter and just being smart, bitter and just wanting to be what's right done, wanting what's right to be done. It's a difference. Sometimes it could be both. But who are we to judge, right? So I agree to that extent. To that standpoint, as far as the men that are doing what they're supposed to do and doing what they can, once again, we have to be very very honest with that conversation. Is that particular individual, man or woman, whoever on child support, are they actually doing everything they can do, all they can do within their means or within their income base, whatever that looks like? Are they actually doing that? Once again, seeing your kids every day is cool. It's great. That's how life was supposed to go. However, it's more to that. They got things they need done. You got to know certain things about them as well. As a parent, you have to teach, you have to lead, you have to clean, you have to financially take care of. It's a lot of things you got to do as a parent. Aside from just, hey, it's Monday, I see you. Hey, it's Tuesday, I see you. Hey, it's Wednesday, I see you. You can't just do that all the time. Like, you got to really do more than just seeing your kids every day. Even though that's great, still do that. But when we talk about maximum and minimum, that's to the side right here. Like, it's this, and then you do more, and you go out, then you're at the maximum level of parenting. But just seeing your kids every day could be bare minimum to me. So how do I feel about child support? I'm not against it. I'm with it. I think it's impossible to talk about accountability, and a lot of people. Oh my god, in the last 3-4 years, people love. They just found this new word, accountability. It's impossible to talk about accountability and then kind of be against child support, in my opinion. Um, this is my opinion, man. I'm not the law. Uh, I think child support is what it is. It's supposed to be to help the parent that is keeping the child, but also it gives the parent who isn't the full custodial parent some accountability of some um, uh, uh, financial I don't know what word I want to use, but some financial. This the thing about that though. This is just my opinion. Like from my stories I've heard about child support, me coming up and my dad being on child support, me knowing people who pay child support, me knowing people who receive child support. I it hasn't been too many cases where, from what I know and what in my experience, where I feel like the child support was even enough anyway. So I want to start there. When you talk about being for or against something, like, okay, yeah, I'm not against it. Okay, cool. A parent is getting 200 a month and it's one kid. Okay, cool, one kid, 200 a month. Okay, we cooking a little bit. Um, how much do you think it takes to take care of a child? I, I I have two daughters. I can tell you it's more than 200 a month a piece. Um, Gender might matter, it might not matter, but let's just talk about. I want to break a few things down real quick. Let's talk about just some things, just some small stuff to take care of them. So one, of course, food. We already over 200. If we being for real, like we over 200 already just on food alone. But that's beside the point. And I'm going into one child. So food, all right, clothes. They gotta wear clothes. This the regular stuff you need: toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, mouthwash, rags, towels, sheets, a bed. These are expenses that you have to buy: tissue, toilet paper, drink something to drink, cereal. I'm just naming things. If you got a daughter, they gotta get their hair done, right? Unless you gonna know how to do hair. You gotta get their hair done. That's the way of the world right now. You got a son and you care about him, he gotta get a haircut. Or if he got a dress, he gotta get his dress done, whatever the case may be. But it's just the upkeep to that for hairstyles or whatever. But even if you take that out of it, we still over 200. Take that out of it. So when people, talk about child support from a standpoint of, oh, this person is doing everything. I want to also think about. I think Ash comment was really, really, really impressive when you think about the custodial parent. When you think about the custodial parent, and you think about what does this do for them. A lot of times you hear people talk about, where does child support money going? It's like, bro, it's $200. Please. It went to food. The groceries was 700 for the month. And if y'all, and anybody living in a household with multiple people, or you got siblings or whatever the case may be, that's going about 2 weeks anyway. You're lucky if you get 2 weeks out of that. You try to make it last. So you go 2 weeks with eating okay, and then 2 weeks of a week of trying to hold on to the last little bit of the groceries, then a week of damn near famish until the next week come in. You could re-up on groceries. Okay, so when people saying where my money went, now if you're paying a substantial amount of money for child support due to your income, I can see that being a problem for someone who feels like, oh, it don't take that much. But this the thing, right? In my opinion, whatever the court decides, in a lot of cases that I've seen, not gonna say most, a lot of cases that I've seen, I've witnessed, it's generally not gonna be enough to take care of a child. I want you to think about this when you say child support. Think about what you're paying in child support. So if you're paying 200, 300, 400, whatever the case may be. Me doing this with one child. We'll get to the multiple in a second, but we're doing one child. Let's just say it's 200, 250, 300, whatever. How much you think it's gonna take you to take care of that child every day? Like, so you put 350 aside and you say in your mind, I'm only spending this amount of money on this kid. Now, mind you, gotta think about room and board, rent, lights, all that stuff matters because they be with you. They'll be using more of it, more water, more electricity, more lights being on, more gas you might be cooking, whatever the case may be. So these bills are gonna get higher as well. Now you might have to dip into that 350 to, pay the power bill, dip into that 350 to pay the water bill that's higher now, dip into that 350 to pay the Wi-Fi bill because they got a tablet, they want to play the game online, whatever the case may be. So now from that 350, what you got left, and is that going to be enough to take care of this kid for a whole month? A whole month. I really think then people will start to say, you know what, damn, that's not even enough. I need to stop complaining. Mind you, I ain't saying nobody can complain. I ain't on child support. But I'm gonna tell you this. I might be a little different because some guys are different with their kids. Uh, I'm glad I'm not on child support because I do feel like if I was on child support, I wouldn't able to do a lot of things that I want to do with them. But I think the reason why I'm not on child support is super important as well. And that is because, the person that I reproduce with, however I carried myself, they knew that if anything else, that he gonna take care of his kids. So it was never no reason to put me on child support. I think that we think that women are always bitter when they go down to the child support office. How about they just broke? How about they just tired? How about they just doing it by themselves? How about, and people that say, well, because my homeboy, I found this out. A lot of people with very, very, very strong opinions on child support don't have kids for one, aren't on child support for two. Those opinions are coming from a situation that they know third party. Like they know it in third person. So what I mean by that, your homeboy is telling you his frustration. He's venting to you about what he's doing. You like, oh my gosh, he can't keep getting away with this. This is crazy. Bitches is crazy. They jealous. They bitter. But I think we got to realize and be real with ourselves that a lot of times people don't tell you the full story of everything. Not to say that homeboy lying or your best friend lying or your homeboy whatever is lying, but they maybe leave a piece of the story out. What pieces could they leaving out? Simple. Broken promises. I'm gonna do this and then not doing this. That's super important. So where you're saying somebody is bitter, and they may be bitter to you based off a story that you heard from your homeboy that could possibly be delusional and be a liar, but whatever. And some niggas know the homeboy be lying, but they're believing this one time, right? Anyway, so you're hearing this story from your friend or whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, he forgot to leave out the part that, well, she asked him $50 about 4 times this year. He said he had it, couldn't get it all 4 times this year. She's seeing him in new shoes. She's seeing or hearing about his story and he going out and doing that stuff. She's seeing that he's financially okay with spending money, just not on his kid. And then when she goes down to the child support office, she's bitter. And that could be true. I will be better too if I'm struggling to take care of my kids, and the person I have kids with is giving me broken promises, coming up short, and not helping me financially take care of these kids, but out having a good time. I'm bitter too. I want to have a good time. I can't. I'm still struggling trying to take care of these kids. I can't even look good. I can't even look like myself because I'm stressed out because I don't have time to look good because I'm taking care of these kids. And I don't think people think about that. And mind you, it's not everybody's story. You got some guys that really do take care of the kids and they get put through the ringer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know one. I don't know one guy that is like such a good dad that they shouldn't be on child support. And they're on child support and they're paying a substantial amount of money where it's like through the roof. It don't make sense. I don't know one guy. A lot of times people go to superstars and back. I don't know them niggas. You don't know them niggas. We gotta chill. We don't know them. I don't know the situation. So I feel like the child support thing is personal when you have personal stories or you think you got personal stories. Because I can guarantee you that the person that you hear about the child support story from, your homework, whatever it can be, you're not going to corroborate that story with the person he's talking about. You're not going to check and see if he actually did do the things that they're saying or the things that he's saying he did. Because I did this. I'm telling you, a lot of them personal opinions on child support be because you're a friend and you think your friend is doing some things your friend isn't doing. And that's male or female. If the custodial parent is a guy and a woman is saying some things, sometimes the woman be lying. Sometimes men be lying. Sometimes people leave things out of stories on purpose. Why? Because it's going to make a person that they're telling a story to question some things. Your friend not going to tell you that he didn't have the $50 to pay his kid's mom the last 5 times. but she saw him going buy shoes. He got the newest J's. He got this, he got that. He not stressed out. Oh, nigga saying you looking younger. I bet he is. I bet that nigga do look younger. You know, it's a few financial responsibilities he's just not taking care of. And I think we do that like comparison. This story, this person. We don't know why people want child support. I don't think everybody that's on child support it just was bitter and went down there. I do think it's financially responsible to get your just due. I understand people don't like getting the law involved. I understand that people we talk a lot about people that's bitter and put someone on child support, but I don't think we clap it up enough for the people who don't believe in the justice system at all, so they don't put people on child support. Clap it up for them real quick. And I'm not saying you're smart. I'm just clapping it up for you. Because to me, that's dumb, but that's just to me. I've always felt like when somebody is doing their just due and not taking care of their kids and they should be, and you can do something about it, do something about it. But we don't give women or people, because it's not only women, people like that enough credit to say, I don't believe in this system, so I'm just gonna do it on my own. Nobody talks about that. The only thing we go to strictly straight when it comes to child support is bitter baby mama. And whereas that's the case sometimes, two things could be true once again. They could be bitter and they can also be doing the right thing. If a judge awards you $400 a month, yeah, it takes more than $400 a month to take care of a kid. I wholeheartedly agree. But that's a guaranteed 400 you're gonna get as long as that person keep their job. As long as that person keep their job, you're guaranteed that $400. What y'all do with that is on y'all business. Maybe you'll take a little bit, give them back some. I don't know how that works for some people. I'm not on child support, but I would definitely say it's something that can be worked out. I know a couple people on child support who when they got a good amount getting taken out. I don't want to say it's too much, but it's a good amount being taken out, and they got a system where he might get XYZ back to do whatever. They got a system because both parties make good money. And it works. It works. I think we look at child support as a burden, and it's not a burden. It's just to hold somebody accountable. And I think any child support conversation has to be breaking down to me. Like even how I broke some stuff down, it's more to be broken down because there's more things you can talk about. But people have one story about child support and feel like they know the end all be all of child support because you're one friend or that you feel like is doing all these things and shouldn't be on child support at all. But you're not knowing or privy to any time he couldn't do something. You're not knowing or privy to how much an athlete takes to take care of a child. You're not knowing or privy to the lack of commitments that he's made. I'm sorry, the lack he came through on. So the lack of commitments he came through on. He's committed to I'm gonna give you this day and I ain't got it. I'm gonna give you this day, I ain't got it. A lot of times people put people on child support too because at the very first sign of not being able to pay this bill, that bill, or do this or do that, the first expense somebody will cut is the child support that's not court-ordered. So if I'm giving you, 300 and something come up and I want to do something or I want to pay this bill, I want to do this, I'm like, yo, I ain't got it because da 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 da. That's the first time somebody gonna do that sometimes. Very first time. Oh, damn. How much that is? 250? Yo, I can give you 50, but I can't. You might be needing that $300. But because it's not coordinated, that person is like, yo, I got to do the X, Y, whatever it is. I don't care what it could be. It could be the most important thing, least important thing. All I'm saying is they cut from that. Child support holds you accountable to say, hey, like Miss Houston said, it's contract. It's contractual. Hey, you said you can pay this. But we said you're going to pay this based off what we know you make. We are going to make you pay that based off what we know you make. And if you make more, y'all come on down here and we'll see if you change something up for you. If you make less, y'all come on down, we'll change something up for you. I want to add this in with the multiple child thing because we did this all this we're talking about one child. But I want to break it down just real quick with the multiple child thing and think about this. There's parents who get less because someone has multiple kids, other places, and so the child support system is trying to make it work for all these different households. So think about that. Think about you being a custodial parent of a child you have with someone who also has 3 or 4 more children. Doesn't make a lot. And this is your child support you're getting because you have to split it with other households. So we talk about 200, 300, you looking at 75, $100 now. That ain't nothing to take care of a child a month. But that's what you getting now because that person has children here, 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 here. It's accountability. Accountability. Um, as Chess Month with Dope, we gotta start really holding ourselves accountable for who we reproduce with. And I couldn't think she was more right. I think that's right. That's important. I'm about to interview in a minute, so I just want to do something real quick. It's nothing major. I might do a two-part. I might do a second part after this on something else that I want to talk about. Maybe blend them together. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure, but like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I gotta get ready for this interview. So I appreciate y'all. I'm not against child support. I am for it if it's needed. I do think there's pros and cons to it as well. Anytime you got the law involved, it's gonna be pros and cons to it because that's how the law works. You know, the law tells you, hey, you're innocent until proven guilty. That's how it works sometimes. You could be on camera shooting somebody in the head. The legal system, the justice system says you are innocent until proven guilty. Sometimes you couldn't have did it. Wrong place, wrong time. You just fit a description. And in that courtroom, you guilty until proven innocent. That is also a thing. The law don't say that. That's also a thing. I like to say it's pros and cons to the justice system. The justice system isn't perfect. There's pros and cons to it. So my only thing would say is final statements I would say is like I am not against child support. But I will say, enter the justice system at your own risk. If you feel like it worked for you, who cares? If you feel like it worked for you, go ahead and do it. Fathers, mothers, take care of your children. Take some of that financial burden off the custodial parent as much as possible before the courts have to get involved. Commit to your commitments. Come through on your commitments financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically for your kids. And create healthy lifestyles for your kids growing up. One Masters Podcast, we out.